All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. Now, the other part of the Diego Sanchez interview from today. Now, we already looked at, well, who knows if you watched him already. There's another part of this interview where Diego talks about his heroic fight from Friday night, which was incredible. He shared a lot of really, really inspiring information that everybody should go watch. But this one, we're going to talk about Fabia, my favorite little guy. And we're going to ask Diego about a specific story or two that will demonstrate what kind of little charlatan we were dealing with. And Diego was very open. He's open about why he believed that Fabia was the second coming Messiah, which actually is directly related to Cowboy's buddy beating the shit out of him in the bar. I can't do this justice, dude. I literally can't do this justice. It's too good. It's too good. Fabia is a charlatan. Diego is a savage. If this sounds like I'm making fun of Diego, I'm not. I'm really not. Like, Diego has proven himself to be an absolutely stone legend in the sport. Friday solidified him as a Hall of Famer. I mean, well, he was already a Hall of Famer, but as a complete and total badass. So if anybody thinks that this is me being disrespectful to Diego, I'm not. I just really don't like Fabia. And so anything that, reflects poorly on that little fuckhead, I'm going to, do everything I can to make sure everybody sees it. And, and try to help Diego if there's any remnants of this guy being the real deal. Let me try to just, right? But let's jump into this thing. So, yeah, here's where we started.
I had the devil come in and try to sway me so deep, bro, that you know what me the fool that fell for it. I did. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? You were one of the people out there that knew all along that Fabia was not the right guy for me, and that he had alternative agendas.
Yeah.
And there was people out there that knew, and the whole world was out there praying for me and hoping that I'd be able to come out on the other side. Well, I did. I came out on the other side, and what you seen on Friday night was me coming out on the other side and showing the world to be inspired that no matter what you go through, no matter how hard you fall down on the pavement, you can get your ass up.
Okay, so I gotta ask about this post that you put up on Instagram. Did Fabia really get $100,000 from you? Is that true?
With that whole deal was, like, I was scared, man. Like I'm gonna have this little motherfucker like trying out, like, follow me and try to like maybe kill me. You know what I mean? Like,
he's not gonna kill you.
I know you say that, but like the dude was like seriously like a real fucking contract. Like he was no joke. Like I learned from him, and like I had to go through, and like the whole time, I had to put up with his shit, and I had to put up with that little fucking weasel shit, and I did. But like I was getting stuff from it, like the whole time. Man, he was blessing me with his knowledge and what he knew that other MMA coaches and other fighters, they didn't have a fucking clue about what this guy really knew. It was like working with like a Leonardo da Vinci, for may I say, like the guy knew some shit. Like there was a reason why I was putting up with his shit and doing what I was doing, because I was receiving what I needed to receive. And I went through the fire, man. I got cleansed, and I came out on the other side, man. And in the end of the day, you know what I mean? I just give the glory to God, and I'm grateful that I'm still here. And yeah, I had to pay him out, so that it would be like, I paid him out so that it would be done. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, I paid you, get out of my life. I'm Diego. You're whoever the fuck you are. I don't know who the fuck you really are or what you are, but get the fuck out of my life. It's Diego Sanchez's life, and I'm doing it my way.
Yeah. Okay, but so in the Instagram post that you put up, you alluded to that it was blackmail. Is that really how that happened?
In a way, yeah. In a way, it was blackmail. But because this guy was such a master manipulator that he had me so manipulated that to where, I truly believe that this guy was like a end of times prophet. you know.
Did he actually say that he was an end of the world prophet?
Yeah, no. Yeah. He claimed that he was conduiting the energy of the universe. And
okay, real quick, outside of the interview, just fair warning. This is where Diego is about to tell you the story of why he believed that Fabia was the second coming of whatever. And in my opinion, very educated opinion, good at picking up bullshit, I would say that this is the most bulletproof story anyone has ever heard, that Fabia is completely 100% full of shit. This didn't even need a preamble. You guys are going to hear it. You're instantly going to know what happened, but let's jump into it. Let's go.
And the only reason why I really truly followed him was because, you know, there's a story out there of how MMA fighter Jimmy Rayborn out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, had an ordeal with Fabia in a Twin Peaks parking lot the night that I got the Jake Matthews fight. We got that fight on 5 weeks notice also. And I didn't know, because COVID had hit. I didn't know if UFC was going to make it. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew I needed to get one last payday. And so I hit up Dana White, and of course, you know what I mean? I hit up Dana White and I was like, I got to get out to Abu Dhabi. You got to get me on Fight Island. It's a part of my legacy. I got to do it. Dana White came through. Dana White hooked me up with the fight. And that night we were like, all right, let's go have a beer. Let's celebrate getting this fight. And one of these fighters, ex-pro fighter, Jimmy Rayborn, and another friend of mine.
This is Cowboy's boy, right?
That's Cowboy's sir. Yeah. Because the story got out. But so they were at the same restaurant, and they were my friends, high school friends / MMA friends that kind of had been excluded from my circle. But, you know, I'm Diego Sanchez. I love my people. And so these were some good friends. And I told them, come on over, sit at the table. Let's talk, hang out with us.
Okay, I'm just stopping real quick to point out in the middle of this. This is outside the interview, and just point out that these are Diego's friends that Fabia had specifically pushed out of his life. So go into the rest of this story thinking about that, knowing that they are looking at Fabia as like the source of, oh, we're not allowed to hang out with Diego anymore? Like this little fucker? Like we're not allowed to hang out with Diego anymore? Okay. Well, let's just go into this next interaction knowing that he's a little charlatan piece of shit.
And we were talking about the Michael Chiesa ordeal with the commission and everything, and I was like, well, just fucking show him the move. Like, I can't explain to you the move. Show him the move.
You're talking about the death move that he warned the commission about before the Chiesa fight, correct?
No, it's a real move. It's a real move. It's no bullshit. It's a real move. And
I mean, here's what I'll say about that. If he told me about it, I would say it's bullshit. You being a black belt in jiu-jitsu and a human killing machine, if you're telling me it's legit, then I'm not really in a position to argue, I guess.
I never learned anything like this move. It's a real like combat move where you put the neck in a compromised position, and basically if the dude like tries to fight out of it, he could break his own neck. Like you know what I mean? Like, it's not like you're trying to break the neck, but if the dude tries to fight the wrong way, he could break his own neck.
Okay, well, next time we're in person, you need to show me how to do that shit.
I'll show you the move for sure. And so, like, I told him, I said, put him in the move, I said, just show him the fucking move, because you got to feel it, or you're not going to believe it. Like, it's one of those things, like, you ain't gonna believe it unless you feel it, unless you're putting it. And so Josh put him in the move in the fucking patio at the Twin Peaks parking lot in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And he freaked out, bro. He freaked out, and he went for a jumping, flying triangle in the patio. And the metal steel chair that they were sitting on, like, all their weight went down, and it blew out Fabia's knee. And I took Fabia to the hospital that night. I did. And he had an ACL, an MCL, a PCL. All his ligaments were blown. And on top of that, his tibia had splintered, and he had internal bleeding.
Wait. His tibia splintered?
Yeah, no, the bone splintered.
I don't remember ever seeing him walking around in like a big cast.
And so, yeah. And so I was like, all right. I'm not your babysitter. You have an assistant. He had an assistant, Rebecca Hidalgo, who was his assistant. And this, I was like, well, I guess I'm fucked. I don't got a training coach for the, I don't got a trainer for this camp. I was like, what am I gonna do? And I took him to the hospital. They were prepping him for emergency surgery. And then they found out that he didn't have insurance. And they were like, well, you gotta go home and you gotta, and this was when all the hospitals were claiming everything. There was like a real, like some real shady shit was going on in the hospitals at COVID at this time. This was July of 2020. And so I left him at the hospital, and I remember they were prepping him for emergency surgery, and then they basically like kicked him out of the hospital and like, you got to get insurance and come back. And so I was like, I let him go, and I was like, I can't babysit this guy. I got 5 weeks, and I got to prepare for Jake Matthews. I was like, you got your assistant. I ain't babysitting you. And I dropped him off. I took him to the mountain, and I dropped him off, and I was preparing to do the count myself, and all of a sudden he knocked on my door, and he walked up, and he was walking, and I was like, well, what's up with your knee? And he's like, I did what I had to do to heal myself. And so I'm like, I'm basically witnessing a fucking miracle.
I'm going to stop you there just for a second. So I have to at least propose that it's possible that he had not actually torn any ligaments in his knee, and that he had not shattered his tibia, and that he did not have internal bleeding, and that he's completely full of shit.
Yeah, that could be a possibility too. Yeah. Whatever happened, it all went down. I fell for the sauce. I'll never know the real truth. But I do know the real truth of this guy's story and what he did working for the government and working for the Colombian cartel, and how dangerous this guy really was. And that's why I feared for my life and my family's safety. And I was stuck. I was stuck in this situation, and I had to figure out how I was going to get out of it. And in the end, man, it was Mama's prayers, Mama's faith, and my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ who saved me. And so, faith is questionable, and there's many different faiths within all of the religions and stuff. But in my spirituality, man, I was rescued. I was saved from the devil, straight up. Yeah. Like, this guy was a part of this. You can look it up on Google. It's called SHAUR, the Shuar tribe of Ecuador. And they're the real fucking headhunters, bro. Like, they believe that if you cut off someone's head, you could take their soul energy, and they, man, it's just such a crazy story, man. Like,
okay, so Diego, whenever you see this interview, I'm going to tell you with absolute certainty, he was lying. So the truth, like, is this true? Is it not true? I'm telling you right now, it ain't true. He didn't hurt his leg. He was lying. I would say a crazy enough story to bank that 100% it's not true. He's a charlatan and a goddamn liar. And Diego, you are a much better person for not being, you're much better off not being around him. Fuck that guy.